Hi everyone, it's Lisa with InkandInspirations.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in the United States, and I'm so glad to be coming to you tonight for this YouTube premiere. And I'm doing something a little bit different. I've decided to combine two shorter videos that I had previously recorded. I'm coming to you from icy cold North Texas. We are here visiting our daughter, our youngest daughter, and her family. And so I had to try to uh, do a makeshift video for you, and I had two that fit the bill just perfect. They are both featuring my favorite celebration item. Celebration with Stampin' Up! Ends next, let's see, Monday, I believe is the last day, February 28th. And this paper, this Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper, is my favorite from that selection as far as papers are concerned. And so I have two more card making projects, one with a tip on using scraps that we're going to be looking at tonight. And so I want to thank you all for being here. And if you're watching the replay, welcome. Thanks so much. If you're here at 6 p.m. Central on February 24th, if you'll sign into your Google account, you can chat along with us and ask questions and leave comments, and I'd love to say hello. So please do that. And I'm going to show you a few cards before we get started first. I usually forget to do this, but I've remembered tonight. So first I'm going to show you the card that I will be sending to someone that commented in last week's video. I did these two of these pocket cards, okay? And Anna Garman, if you will message me your or email me your mailing address, I'll get this in the mail to you sometime next week. I have a stack of cards that need to go out, so if you have been chosen as the random winner in the past few weeks, I still have your card and I will put it in the mail this next coming week, okay? All right, and then I have another one, and I don't think I announced this one. Susan Tabaknek, okay, for this paper piecing. This is another celebration stamp set. And this is the paper that I just love, Sunshine and Rainbows. So pretty with all the colors. And this one here, I use the Daffodil Afternoon Designer Series paper, which is another celebration choice. So if you haven't gotten either of those yet, be sure you get your order in by Tuesday. Okay, so now I have some beautiful cards to share that were sent to me by some beautiful card makers. And when I was not feeling well a couple of weeks ago, me and my granddaughter Mia. And so here is one done with the Daffodil Daydream Bundle, I believe that's the name of it. I forget the names between the papers and the stamp sets. Anyway, isn't this beautiful? This is from my friend Karen. Okay, she's also on my team. And it's a beautiful card. Love the detail. She used designer paper. Let's see, I'm trying to get that where you can see it. She used designer paper in for the die cuts. Okay, isn't that pretty? Okay, beautiful. Then I have this one from my friend Marisa. And this one was done, I believe, with a paper pumpkin kit, a Get Well card. So it's pure, so pretty, and I love this vellum. Now this one is from one of my customers, Connie, and I love that ladybug. And look, she used some of that. Remember the poppies paper from not too long ago? She used that, went so well with that, and look at the inside. She stamped one of the poppies. So cute. So cute. Love getting this happy mail. And then here is another one from my STARS team member, Diana Young. And I am not absolutely sure which stamp set this is. You know, I asked her. It is from the mini catalog, I believe. So Diana, if you're watching, will you put that in the chat, please? Because I don't have access to my catalog. But isn't that a beautiful fold? And I love that die cut there that overlaps the card, the inside of the card. So pretty. And I think that's Misty Moonlight in basic white. And then here's a card from Pam. Love, that's my favorite paper. Love it. So she's got the cloud, says hi there, and just a sweet card. And I love the little strip of designer paper, which we're going to talk about using scraps in one of the videos. So like I said, I have 2 short videos, and I will come back in between and talk to you a bit. And let's get started, okay? And be sure and leave your questions, and I'll see you on the other side. Welcome to our premiere for this evening. This is Lisa Brown with InkandInspirations.com. So for our first card, we're starting with a basic white thick card base, 4 1/4 by 11. And here's some of that precious Sunshine and Rainbows paper. And I'm using a full sheet to cover the front of that card base. I have a Stitch So Sweetly die and some of the cloud prints from that paper stack. And we're going to start assembling this really easily. So the white card base is beautiful in and of itself, but I like using designer paper, and especially this one with these gorgeous colors, to cover the entire front sometimes. So again, this is a Stitch So Sweetly die in basic white, and I'm taking some different colors from the designer paper to stamp my rainbow. So I have Flirty Flamingo, I believe is going down first, and then I'm going to use a lighter color, so Saffron, and going to stamp that because I'm going to stamp the arched sentiment over that in Mango Melody. And so let's get that done. I've got that mounted on a clear block, and here's the Mango Melody, and I'm going to stamp it over the So Saffron, and that'll show up real nicely. Sending you a rainbow of happiness, it says. Okay, so next I'm using Pool Party ink and pulling that color also from the designer paper. And then I'm going to switch to Petal Pink, I believe, for the color there at the bottom. So now we have our rainbow ready to go. And again, just using the colors from the designer paper to decide the colors I'm going to use on the rainbow. So now I'm just going to put this die cut piece to the front, and you can see how that just coordinates just perfectly. And I have the cloud punch here, and I've got the print from the Sunshine and Rainbow stack, and you want to cut out close to the cloud to punch it out. Now, at the time of this recording, I don't believe this punch is available for purchase, but it should come back soon. So you could just fussy cut these clouds and put them on. So I've got 2 of them there, and I'm deciding whether I want to put them both along the bottom or just how I want to arrange them on the card front. So I decided to go with one at the top and one at the bottom to balance it out, and then I have a glittered organdy ribbon I'm just going to put on the front with a mini glue dot, and use some of these iridescent rhinestones that are just gorgeous, and pick up all these colors to scatter around. I believe I'm using 5 on this card. Okay, I'm back, and here is the card that we made. I love these colors in this paper. Let me see if I can get it straight here. And you can see the stamp sentiment, how it went just so perfectly over that So Saffron in the Mango Melody. And I just love it. And so again, I talked about in the video using a complete covering the card front with a piece of designer paper cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it's on a basic white base. And I'm not sure, hope you saw this at the end, I did put another piece of basic white on the inside. That makes for a cleaner look for the card. And this was a scrap piece that I cut off the side of here that I decided to use for the inside. So use those scrap pieces. Now in the next card, I'll show you how I took a long strip, cut it into 3 equal pieces, and used it as an element on the card front. So let's take a look at that. So for this next card, I'm going to show you how I'm using some scraps of the designer paper and just cut them into equal sizes to use that little tag from this rainbow dies. And I have what I think here is a standard size card base, but you're going to see that it was just a scrap from my drawer, and I needed to cut down this 5 by 4¼ piece, no, 5¼ by 4" piece of designer paper so it'll fit on the front. So I'm just making do and cutting it to fit. So I'm going to apply that rainbow print to the front of the card. So now I have these little strips, and I'm just going to arrange them there as the backdrop for that tag. And so just a fun way to use your scraps. You don't have to keep them in a solid piece. You can piece them together and just make a fun element for your cards. So now that's going to go on top, but I'm going to add a little color to it. And so I pull some Stampin' Blends alcohol markers from the colors in the designer paper. And this first arch is in Misty Moonlight. And then the next one, I believe, is in Pool Party. And then Pale Papaya. And then the final one is Seafoam, Soft Seafoam. Then I'm going to stamp the sentiment, "You make the world a better place," in Granny Apple Green. And then I want to add a little more color, so I'm using the little heart stamps twice in Pale Papaya. So there's our little tag, and I'm just going to angle it there over those 3 scrap strips of designer paper. And then I have some clouds cut from some glimmer paper. And then I colored the seam binding white ribbon with my Pale Papaya Stampin' Blends, and I'm using some linen thread to tie it all together just to make a puffy bow. I'm going to attach that with a glue dot, and the card will be finished except for the inside. So you see I have that already cut, so it needs to be cut down to fit that card base. So you can make do with other pieces of cardstock that you have. There's the card, and I hope you will give that a try. Okay, so what did you think about that card? I love the colors of these rainbows in that piece of designer paper from that Sunshine and Rainbows collection. And this is the sweetest little sentiment. So, and I talked in the video about, you saw me trimming down the designer paper and the white for the inside. So when I pulled this Granny Apple Green from my stash, I just assumed it was the standard size 5½ by 8½, folded at 4¼ But when I got to working with it, you could see I had to cut down some of those pre-cut pieces that I had. And this is actually, instead of 5½ inches tall, it's 5¼ So these pieces were cut down to 5 by 4, as well as the inside, the basic white. Okay, so you can use those scraps like that and just adjust. Okay, it's still a pretty card. You still have all the elements on it that I would have put on a standard size if it had been a ½ inch bigger. And so be sure and do that. Now you can see these 3 little strips underneath there. Okay, I kind of angled them. You could do whatever you want with them, but it's a good way to use those scraps that you have that just have those beautiful colors and can make your projects just really pop. So I hope you enjoyed these 2 short videos tonight. Thank you so much for being here with me. How about this week? I'll do 2 random drawings. I'll send one of each of these cards to one person, one to another, and I'll announce that hopefully next week, next Thursday evening, for our YouTube premiere. Thank you for watching. Visit my website at inkinspirations.com. Be sure you subscribe here so you get notice of the premieres and everything that I do here on YouTube. And I'll talk to you again soon. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.